Particle moves in a straight line with acceleration cos pi t meters per second squared. So A is equal to cos pi t. The particle starts from rest, so v equals 0 when t equals 0. Obtain the distance travelled by the particle in the time interval from t equals 1 to t equals 2. So v is going to be the integral of cos pi t dt. So integrate cos, we get sine, so that's going to be sine pi t over pi plus some constant. Now v equals 0 when t equals 0. Well, sine of 0 is 0, so that means that c1 equals 0. And so v is going to be sine of pi t divided by pi. Now we're interested in distances, so we want x. So that's going to be the integral of sine pi t over pi dt. Sine integrates to negative cos. So we're going to get negative cos pi t over pi squared plus some constant. Now, we don't know what the constant is, and we don't need to know. Now, x of 1 is going to be negative cos pi over pi squared plus c2. Cos pi is negative 1, so negative of that is 1, so it's 1 over pi squared plus c2. X of 2 is going to be negative cos 2 pi over pi squared plus c2. Well, cos of 2 pi is of course 1, so this is negative 1 over pi squared plus c2. Is the velocity 0 anywhere between 1 and 2? So the velocity at 1 would be sine of pi, which is 0. So let's just make a note of that over here. Velocity of 1 is 0. Velocity at 2 would also be 0. And if we think about the sine, we're going to be going from pi, sine of pi, to sine of 2 pi. It's all down here. And in these quadrants, the sine is negative. So we're traveling in the same direction the whole time. So basically, we don't have to worry about it turning around and coming back. It's going to start over here at 1 over pi squared plus c2 and travel to negative 1 over pi squared, plus c2. And so the distance travelled, should be clear, is 2 over pi squared. It travels 1 over pi squared to the point where it's 0, and then, well, actually to the point where it's c2. And that's why the c2 doesn't actually matter. So that's 1 over pi squared, and then that's another 1 over pi squared there, giving us a total distance of 2 over pi squared.